In 2009, Claudia Lawrence, a chef at the University of York, disappeared at the age of 35. She was last spotted nearing her residence in the Heworth neighborhood of the city on March 18th and was reported missing the next day. 6 weeks later, authorities shifted their investigation to a suspected murder case. Yet, North Yorkshire police have stated they lack evidence confirming Claudia's demise. On the 18th of March 2009, a Thursday evening, Suzy Cooper sat in the Nags Head, a cozy pub in Heworth, York, United Kingdom. She eagerly awaited the arrival of her close friend, Claudia Lawrence. The two women shared a bond that felt more like sisterhood. As the minutes ticked by, there was no sign of Claudia. Suzy grew concerned and sent her a text, but there was no reply. When she called, Claudia's phone went straight to voicemail. It was unlike Claudia to be late or unresponsive, so Suzy assumed she had fallen asleep. Claudia worked as a chef at the University of York, often starting her day early. Her move to Heworth Road meant living alone in a small terrace house. Despite her solitary life, Claudia enjoyed socializing with friends at the Nags Head and spending time with her beloved horse, a passion she'd carried from childhood. Growing up in Malton, a charming North Yorkshire market town, Claudia's family home had a paddock where she once had a pony. She was the youngest of two girls, with her sister Allie 3 years her senior. Their parents, Peter and Joan, provided a comfortable upbringing, emphasizing kindness and love. Claudia's nurturing spirit extended to caring for animals in need. Even after her parents' divorce when she became an adult, she remained close to both of them. The night wore on, and Claudia never arrived at the Nags Head. Suzy's concern deepened. When Claudia's phone remained switched off the next morning, alarm bells rang. Claudia was inseparable from her phone, always texting. Suzy contacted Peter, fearing an accident or worse, an attack by an intruder. Claudia's absence at work on Thursday, where she served as a chef at the University of York, confirmed their fears. Peter visited Claudia's house, finding everything seemingly normal: slippers by the door, stacked dishes, a neatly made bed. All signs pointed to her leaving for work as planned. However, her phone and rucksack were missing. Claudia always carried her rucksack, using it to transport Hey Chef's whites. The unsettling truth emerged. Something had happened to Claudia on her way to work. Peter promptly reported her missing to the police. From the outset, Claudia's case stood out as unusual. The police acted swiftly, an urgency fueled by the absence of any evidence pointing to foul play. While it's true that sometimes people simply need a break from life, this scenario didn't fit that mold. Claudia, a 35-year-old woman, had vanished without a trace. Her last sighting occurred on a Wednesday, and she had spoken to both her father, Peter, and her mother, Joan, that evening. But after that, silence. No clues, no leads. The police mobilized nearly 200 officers, scouring the area around Claudia's house and retracing her usual route to work. They hoped to uncover anything unusual from the day she disappeared. The previous day, Claudia appeared on CCTV footage leaving work just after 2:30 p.m. Her 45-minute walk home was documented by various cameras along the way. She posted a letter during her journey. A colleague offered her a lift, but she declined, arriving home before 3 p.m. After a brief stop, she left again, seen walking toward her house 15 minutes later. That night, Claudia chatted with her parents about mundane matters, nothing alarming. They all watch the same TV show. Location, location, location. Claudia mentioned her early work shift the next morning and made plans for Mother's Day. Little did Joan know it would be their final conversation. At 8:23 p.m., Claudia sent a text from her phone. An hour later, a friend from Cyprus messaged her, but Claudia never replied. By 12:10 a.m., her phone was switched off. The police believed Claudia left for work as planned on the 19th of March, carrying her rucksack and phone. The critical time frame lay between Heworth Road and Goodricke College. A cyclist reported seeing a woman resembling Claudia talking to a man, a left-hand smoker, near the electricity substation at Melrose Gate around 5:35 a.m. This aligned with Claudia's usual route, a 10-minute walk from her home. Oddly, the nearby CCTV camera failed to capture any images of her. Another witness observed a heated argument between a man and a woman near a parked vehicle on University Way, roughly when Claudia should have started her shift. Despite extensive searches and appeals for information, the mystery persisted. No crime scene emerged, leaving everyone uncertain. Was Claudia missing since Wednesday night, or had she indeed set out for work on Thursday morning? The investigation into Claudia's disappearance was marred by several mistakes that hindered the search efforts. One glaring error was the circulation of an outdated photo, a blonde-haired Claudia, via online platforms and news agencies. However, at the time she vanished, Claudia had dark hair. Additionally, her lack of a smartphone and absence from social media made it challenging for the police to trace her last movements. CCTV footage near Claudia's house provided some clues. On the Wednesday, a man with a rucksack entered the alleyway behind Claudia's home at 7:15 p.m., exiting just a minute later. Strangely, he seemed to wait for a passerby to move along before leaving, as if intentionally avoiding detection. Then, at 5:07 a.m. on Thursday, another man appeared in the same alleyway, departing after a minute. Unfortunately, the grainy CCTV footage couldn't definitively confirm whether it was the same individual. Curiously, no man ever stepped forward in relation to these sightings. A thorough search of Claudia's house yielded little of value. However, an unidentified partial fingerprint was discovered in her car. 6 weeks after Claudia's disappearance, the police shifted the case to a suspected murder investigation. While no concrete evidence indicated Claudia's demise, there was also no proof of her being alive. Amid the search for Claudia, the media narrative shifted, profoundly affecting public perception. Initially, it centered on a hard-working, friendly young woman who vanished during her morning commute. The entire community held its breath, fearing that such a fate could befall anyone. Crimes against ordinary people doing everyday things resonate deeply, underscoring vulnerability. But then came the revelation. Claudia led a more secretive life, entangled in relationships with various men, some of them married. Suddenly, the focus shifted from a missing, beautiful, and friendly girl to a perceived home wrecker. The media sensationalized her connections, casting shadows of mystery, rumors, and allegations. Even today, some withhold crucial information. Yet Claudia's relationships should not have colored the coverage. She was a single woman, childless, known to friends as loving and caring. The relevance of her relationships lies solely in whether any of these men were involved in her disappearance. Their secrecy frustrates efforts to find Claudia. On that fateful Wednesday night, perhaps she didn't return to her own bed. Maybe she met someone, and if so, why haven't they come forward? Sadly, answers remain elusive, and Claudia's vanishing act remains an enigma. Since her initial disappearance, there have been developments. In 2014, 5 years later, police made their first arrests. A house in North Shields and a pub in Acomb, York, underwent scrutiny. Claudia's phone had been traced to that area in the weeks preceding her disappearance. A 59-year-old man faced suspicion of murder, while a 46-year-old man was held for potentially obstructing justice. Both were eventually released without charge. Later, 4 Nags Head pub regulars were arrested on suspicion of murder, but insufficient evidence halted the case. Secrets, mysteries, and lies still shroud this investigation. Perhaps one day, someone will break the silence, granting Claudia's family the answers they seek about their beloved daughter and sister. And if you found this video insightful, don't hesitate to give it a like and share it with others who might find it interesting. Every like, share, and subscription goes a long way in supporting our channel. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.